Hello, look at I screwed it up. I did it backwards. Hello and welcome to Flippin' Through the Internet's #1 Mad Magazine news, review, and interview channel. And today we're flipping through Mad Magazine number 70. The hell? Mad Magazine number 70, released April 1962. Our price, 25 cents, which is indeed cheap. But before we do that, I just want to say a couple things. Would you allow me to? Look at it. I don't even have this things up that I need to say. Anyway, I missed last week's video. I don't know if you can tell. I'm a little under the weather. Things have been busy. I'm just making up excuses right now. I apologize for not having a new video on Saturday. I hope you can forgive me. If you don't forgive me, please hit subscribe so that you never miss the opportunity to berate me in the comments. Hit subscribe, hit like, leave a message down below. Additionally, if you would like to support me in another way, help me keep my live streams high quality. Help me, that's basically what all I spend the money on right now until I upgrade my camera. You can support me on patreon.com/flippinthrough. That link is right down in the description of this video. And those people who do help me on Patreon: Mark Wolf, Bobby Weigel, Cam Hayden, Ed Meisinger, Doug Guilford, Rob Wilson, Rod Mead Sperry, Andrew Goldfarb, Casey Ori, and Kyle Bridget. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it, and I hope I can keep on earning the support. With that, that's it. So we are flipping through this issue. If you want to, if you want a resource to like flip through with me, if you have questions that maybe I'm not answering, you can go down below, and I have a link to Doug Guilford's MAD coversite.com, and it is it should bring you to this. Boom, right here, that issue, and you can find all the pertinent information on this issue in particular, because sometimes I skip over things or I miss things, or you might want information that I don't have handy or I don't bring up. This is a special issue. This is the, wait, am I remembering this correctly? This came up in my Duck Edwing video, which is doing surprisingly well, much better than the other first appearances one goes. So go check that video out after this. Maybe I'll link to that too. Anyway, this was one of his first appearances. I think this is actually his first appearance as a writer in Mad Magazine. So, oh my gosh, see, I told you I was sick. Anyway, this is a beautiful Kelly Freas cover. And this is what I notice about this. The artists in the audience, you let me know what you think. First off, this is confusing. Like, is that the bottom of the barrel, or is it see-through? And it's probably the bottom of the barrel, I guess. That would make sense, because there's no source of light coming in from that side. Okay, not a criticism. But this is what I noticed, is that the whole background is just monochrome, right? There's not like a stadium back there. You have the beautiful ice and a really cool reflective look on that. But having that blank background kind of draws us into these figures. Obviously, there's Alfred E. Newman. My eye is drawn to Alfred, but I love the posture of this guy. And if you're able to, let's see if this camera can pick it up. Yeah, there you go. It's the expression is just absolutely beautiful on the face of this other skater. So it's a fun cover, I think. Pretty simple gag. It's not so much visual as it is, hey, they're about to collide, right? So let's get right into this. I did want to do this. I wanted to get to it quickly, because I remember when I was going through on that Duck Edwing episode, there was some stuff that really, it stood out to me, and I was like, I want to check this out. So here we have the vital features, and this is like their most common table of contents, but it is like, I don't know, it feels different. It feels a little bit more buttoned up. They get, I think, a little looser with it as time went on, but I enjoy this quite a bit. So here we have Museum of Madison Avenue. I don't even know who that would be. That's like who is this guy? The guy who's Mr. Magoo? But I don't know who would draw that. Snow removal, celebrity wallets. I mean, this is pretty early on. This is 1962, and at this point, I mean, a lot of the heavy hitters are there already. Those like most notable people, like I mean, Mort Drucker is there. I think that's him right here. We have Bob Clark, right there, I believe, and you also have like Dave Berg, and everybody's there. But there are also some other folks whose style I'm not as keen on. I can't pick up on it as much as I can other ones. I dreamed my husband caught me posing in my maiden firm bra. Purple Rage. That's what he was in, especially since I told him it was for Pepsi Cola. But what's a professional model supposed to tell her guy when lingerie ads are getting sexier and sexier? And they're just about the only jobs available these days. Ha! I don't know. Maiden form. I think that's the joke. But a photo by Lester Krauss. It's kind of a cool. I like this photo. I like the composition. I like his face. I like her trying to keep it cool. And I love the picture. The cameraman just slightly out of focus, staring right into the camera. I think that's pretty cool. Gosh, hopefully my nasally voice is. I mean, my voice is already nasally as it is, so I apologize if this is just too much to bear. So if the views on this video are just in the toilet, I'll understand why, okay? Here we go. Letters department. Comics Christmas party. Thank you for including Canyon in the Christmas party spread in the current MAD. We get a kick out of the whole thing. Milton Caniff. MAD Magazine is a cheap rat for throwing a Christmas party without a crumb of candy or ice cream for us kids. Thanks for nothing. Sincerely, Marcia. This must be... I think this is right here the equivalent of a celebrity on set reading a magazine, like, you know, with the Star Trek fellas. Like where Spock and Kirk are like sitting on set reading the Mad magazine. I think that's the equivalent of that. I don't know. I'm writing this letter to thank you for Mad Magazine and to put in a special word of praise for those unsung heroes of your staff that I'm sure contribute so much to its success. I mean, people like John Putnam, Leonard Brenner, Jerry DeFuccio, and Nick Meglin. Henry Silkin, Brooklyn, New York. Which one are you related to? That's pretty funny. Here we have, right here, this is a famous cover. This is the one that was made by Monkey. Second Don Martin cover. This is the second cover of MAD that Don Martin has drawn. The first, if I remember correctly, was a finger painting. I like that. Wait a second. Maybe we'll get an answer here. Will you guys cut out the comedy and spill the beans on that plant named Arthur already? Lou Slossel. Arthur must have been a midget to have been buried in a flower pot as small as that. Everybody seems to be shouting, Arthur, Arthur. Very interesting. No answers there. Sorry, guys. Here we have a recurring gag. Alfred's Poor Almanac. Let's see. February, March. Oh, it's not. Let's pretend it's March 1st because it's. This is June 1st? I don't know. Thursday the 1st. Dr. Kildare begins longest internship in history of modern medicine, 1938. Don't get it. Man who falls into mimeograph machine is is easily impressed. That sounds like when I was a kid, and I'm sure this predates my childhood, but there was always like the Confucius says jokes, like Confucius says, "Man who farts in church sits in own pew." There were like that reminds me of that. The man who falls in a mimeograph machine is easily impressed. The Museum of Madison Avenue. I am becoming more and more aware of how stuffy my nose is. So, really, I apologize. I'll try to stop bringing attention to it. Various industries, in an effort to invest themselves with dignity and importance, have taken to collecting their historical artifacts for exhibition in museums. The automobile industry has the Henry Ford Museum, the glass industry has the Corning Museum of Glass, and the baseball industry has Cooperstown Hall of Fame. So we here at MAD figure it won't be long before the advertising industry opens the new, improved, hospital tested and approved Museum of Madison Avenue. I bet there is. I bet there is a museum of advertising. I always found, like, full disclosure, both of my parents worked in advertising. But why do people, like, worship advertising as if it's, like, some type of high art? Like, you're selling beans, right? I mean, that's a corn cob, but that's the Jolly Green Giant, right? You're selling beans. You're selling Clorox. You're just selling stuff. Like, why is that so impressive to people? I don't know, like paint something. How about that? Do something creative that way. And no offense if you're in advertising, but I don't know. I hope you have another outlet for your creativity. Like I said, advertising put food on my plate as a child. It kept me well fed. So, I'm not like not trying to be a total a-hole. Here we have, who's doing this? Art by Wallace Wood, writer Gary Belkin. Embarrassingly, I don't know that I'm able to identify Wally Wood art the way I am with other artists. But boy, oh boy. Maybe I should just zoom in and we can just like walk through this together. Probably not going to read any of this. Come on. There we go. There's like a cigarette. All right, so like everybody is smoking. So we have like the camel thing. The camel, I guess that's what you would call it. Even a little kid down there with his wagon with smokes in it. Free tattoos for Marlboro smokers. If I switch brands, can I have the tattoo removed? I got bad news for you, lady. It's these are the pages that are sort of really hard to make videos on because there's so much to just get lost in. And that's what happens, is that I stop talking. I just love all these people, the gestures. Like, here's the guy, whispering to his pal. And it's just like, I don't know. It's lovely. It's just so much fun to look at. Like, look at it. All right, so this lady's bending over. Look at where his eye line is going. Like, I mean, this is such a small illustration, but it's just like he's able to capture that, right? It's really something else. It really is. All right. I'm going to zoom out. Sorry, guys. I hope you enjoy just looking at that stuff the way I do. In a doctor's office. Here's MAD's maddest artist, Don Martin, with his tongue depressor in cheek version of what happened when he was in a doctor's office. Wait, have I done first appearance for Don Martin? Like, I get the need. I get the need to do this, right? But it's like sometimes Don Martin is a serial offender of just doing too many pages for a joke. It's like, all right, slow it down, bro. Like, you don't need 3 pages to do that. Maybe that's something I should blame editorial for. Here, more efficient snow removal. Bob Clark, writer Al Jaffe. Look at this is more of a like a painterly Bob Clark style. Right? I mean, I think it's just painted stuff, right? So maybe painterly is a silly term when it's just painted. But man, what a talented guy. It's very interesting how different his faces look when they're painted versus when he's just using pen and ink. I have to say I much prefer him with pen and ink than I do with this. I think I think Woodbridge is a little better at this stuff. If I was forced to choose, that is what I would choose. When Fidel, the man with the sword, ordered Antonio Prujias, the man with the pen, arrested for his anti-Castro cartoons, the Cuban artist fled to the U.S., where he now graces MAD's pages with Spy versus Spy. This has to be the best intro to it. I love that, right? You know, I mean, it plays off of the trope, the pen is mightier than the sword. It's just great. Yeah, what a great, just very pithy and accurate explanation of Prohias's situation. It's just classic. This kind of reminds me of my daughter describing what it means to be electrocuted. He doesn't do it in here, but like when she was real little, I mean, she must have been like 3 or 4, but she said something about getting electrocuted. And I said, what is it when you get electrocuted? She goes, it's when, well, electricity hits you and you can see your skeleton. And then recently she said something, we've been watching The Simpsons, and she said something about being drunk. And my wife asked her, well, what does that mean to be drunk? And she says, it's when you drink too many beers and you walk around like this. And it's, kids pick up on some pretty crazy stuff. Maybe I should watch what they watch a little closer. No, it's The Simpsons. It's wholesome. Here is Celebrity's Wallet. Once again, Matt presents the feature based on the proposition that you can tell an awful lot about a person when you study the contents of his wallet. Like, for instance, how good his lawyers are when they sue you for publishing personal stuff. Anyway, here's our fictionalized version of things we would probably find if we were to examine the contents of celebrities' wallets. All right, let's pick a couple of these. You know, this is where the good writing, you have to be a good writer to pull this off. Let's see if I can. Oh, here we go. Here's somebody I know. Classified ad department to Mr. Jerry Lewis. Please remit $280 in payment for following ad, which has appeared every issue since November 8th as per your instructions and will continue to run until we are notified otherwise. Please check if copy meets your specifications. Wanted, tall, good-looking singer who can take orders. To team up with, established comedian as straight man. Immediate position available. Reply, Box 97, Hollywood. Did those two break up or something? My God. Jesus. All right. We gotta talk about this. All right, so me at the age of 10, a crazy nutty kid. There's upside down on a thing. Me at the age of 19, still a crazy nutty kid. Me and what's his name? Yeah, they must have had a falling out. I don't know. Me in my sensitive portrayal of the jazz singer on TV. Me, as I am today, a matured talent. Listen, I like how, there's like, Okay, so like even what year is this? 1962. In 1962, I'm assuming that Mad Magazine was not the moral authority, right? So it could be said that if Mad Magazine is sarcastically referring to somebody in blackface as a sensitive portrayal of the jazz singer on TV, like that's saying, obviously that's inappropriate. You shouldn't do that. And yet, years after this, still politicians and people still find it humorous to do blackface or think that it's a humorous thing. Anyway, this is what I am most excited about. This is the lighter side of. Now that is not sarcasm, my friend, okay? Don't think that I am not being true and honest in what I am saying. This really is what I was most looking forward to when I first saw this issue. Because this is what it looks like when Dave Berg is trying. Good heavens, Charlie and Claire DeLune just drove up. Boom. Their house is a pigsty. They freak out. A Charlie and Claire, what a surprise. First off, look at that. Look at that illustration right there. That's beautiful. I mean, I absolutely love that. And furthermore, look at how they go from this sort of like cartoony, buffoon, like big-headed caricatures, and then how they are when they're all put together. It's so lovely. I really, Dave Berg, like when people say, hey, Dave Berg isn't all that bad, there's part of me where I'm like, yeah, you're right. He isn't. He's really good, or he was. He just kept doing it for way too long. I loved this one. Look at, so he has his cigarette, the ash. He has nowhere to ash. He looks to his left. He looks to his right. Notice how everything else, like he stopped doing this, but like, these people are there, but he's the one that's like colored in and shaded in. So it's like, that's who you focus on. He drops it in his pocket, and it just started, like, that's funny. That is so funny. Oh, here, let me see. You don't think for 1 minute that you're going to wear that ridiculous loud tie to the party. Everybody will be staring at you all evening. You'll be making a positive spectacle of yourself. Have you no shame? Go change that tie this instant. That's better. Let's go. That's funny. That's funny. I mean, like, is it just the art? I mean, am I just am I seeing what I want to see? Is the writing just as bad, but it's just the art is better? I don't think it is. I don't think it's just the art that's better. I mean, just look at, everybody's more expressive. I don't know. It's just it's wonderful. Here, let's ring. Oh, excuse us, folks. We'll be right back. We forgot the porch light or something. Boom, they run home to change. And look at, they had both done it. He went more cash. They went more formal. Don't you hate it when that happens? Of course, I can't relate to that. But it's still amusing, right? And this, we can all relate to this, right? Good night, yakety 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 yak 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 yak. Good night, yakety yak. Good morning. I'm all about that Irish goodbye, right? You just leave. You just walk out the door. You kind of just like do one of these to somebody on your way out, and don't have to deal with that. So, you get stuck sometimes, though. Oh no. 6 comics in search of a punchline. Who drew these? Mort Drucker. Look at this. These are so cool. Milton Berle. I love that. But let's remember how they showed that. This is how they showed that in the vital features. They just focused on his nose and his teeth. Some Valentines we seldom get to see. Artist Bob Clark doing his pen and ink stuff, and it's beautiful, and I love it. Jimmy Hodges Fitzgerald. Here we go. From a housewife to her milkman. I've watched at dawn while others sleep, how to my step you softly creep, and bring those goodies by the score to leave before my kitchen door. Today I planned that we should meet, me in my robe and... I'm disgusting, I'm sorry. Me in my robe and cold bare feet, you in your coat of dazzling white, to tell you of my heart's sad plight. Yes, on this day of lovers dear, I want to draw you very near and whisper words just meant for you. I'll take 3 quarts instead of 2. The old joke being, I guess it's like the UPS man now, is, the milkman is Mr. Steal Your Girl, all right? So just be aware of that, okay? That's what the UPS man is doing now. Sorry to break it to you guys. Or I guess maybe the Amazon guy. Jimmy Hodges Fitzgerald. Was Jimmy Hodges Fitzgerald the precursor to Frank Jacobs? A TV scene we'd like to see. Start picture 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. And now, live from Hollywood. If somebody could explain this joke to me, I would really appreciate it. Here, movies and flights. Some beautiful George Woodbridge artwork. The old way. Wait, how many of these are there? Now, well, I'll go with this one because I'm not going to be able to focus on the whole thing. I'm going really, really long with this one. But it's just these old issues. They're just totally, like, there's so much gold in it. Like, I mean, even though there's stuff that I don't understand. The old way. I'd like to buy a ticket to London, please. Certainly, sir. First class or tourist? First class. Jet or prop? Jet. Morning or afternoon flight? Afternoon. Window or aisle seat? Window. Here's your ticket. Hope you enjoy your flight. Look at, there's Arthur the plant. The new way. I'd like a ticket to London, please. Certainly, sir. Color or black and white? Color. Regular or cinemascope screen? Cinemascope. Feature or selected short subjects? Feature. Western or whodunit? Western. Here's your ticket. Hope you enjoy the film. Now it's like, get on the plane, goat. Pack in there with the rest of the chattel. You pathetic creature. That's how they talk to me when I get on the plane. So this must have been like movies on planes. I never really thought about that. That's like got to be like, I mean, I suppose if Mad Magazine is doing a bit on it, it was a pretty big deal when that first happened, or like at least something that swept the nation. Some pages from a satirist's notebook by Howard Schneider with pictures by Bob Clark. Oh man, I got so much of this issue to go through still, but I really want to read this. Once there was a man who was terribly unhappy because he was so short. His inferiority complex became so bad that he sought the help of a psychiatrist. The good doctor managed to convince him that height was no obstacle and that many short men had gone on to become millionaires. So now the man feels twice as bad as before because he's not only short, but poor. All right, how about this one? The story is told of a young commercial artist who, after years of starving, suddenly became an overnight success. His work was constantly in demand, and he commanded a fee of $30 an hour. However, not being used to earning so much money, he soon discovered that a 1 hour lunch cost him $30. A 6 hour map cost him 100. Oh, a 6 hour nap cost him $180, and a 10-minute coffee break cost him exactly $5. So he gave them all up and worked himself to an early death. But he left a huge estate. I like that. That's pretty cool. So here we have Route 67, which I just got to breeze by. The telephone. Don Martin tells us why he quit the Don Amici fan club, mainly last time he used the telephone. Mad peek through the microscope. Dude, Bob Clark was getting so much work this issue. And then this was the first writing gig that our buddy Duck Edwin got. Uncredited, you will notice. Uncredited. But Joe Orlando did that beautiful, beautiful artwork. And then who was doing this? Jack Rickard. Jack Rickard artwork. Oh, man. See, this is the stuff. I mean, this is pretty hard to go through anyway, just because it's so dense. Here we go, the Nuclear Jitters. Another beautiful Joe Orlando piece. Not sure who wrote this one, though. So here we go. And then the Mad Frontier. For how much? How much is this? Please send me the... Oh, look at that. It's 40. I overpaid for that. And then God bless our Fallout shelter. Especially embroidered for Mad Magazine by Margaret Zepp. That's beautiful. Warning, no trespassing. Suitable for framing. So this has been Flippin' Through Mad Magazine number 70. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, hit like, hit subscribe. Leave a comment below if you have any requests for future episodes. Just let me know. With that, toodaloo.